Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Hookah Anonymous _. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines. We'll also be dropping the latest THF first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _ and follow us there. Now without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, as we creep up on the trial date of OTF and Lil Durk, deciding the fate of what may come of his future, it seemed like more and more information is coming out. And before we even continue, y'all, let me say this. I told y'all before that it's never been a thing to where nobody wants to see Durk come home, despite what y'all may think. However, the chances of him coming home is very slim to none. And honestly, I stated in the video before, if by a miracle, in the hairs on Jesus himself's chinny chin chin that Durk do make it out of this, it may not be the same Durk as we know it. That's another story. Aside from that part of it, I never seen too many people beat the feds, but not only beat the feds, beat having multiple cooperating witnesses and informants on the case. Keep in mind, these are the same people cooperating that themselves was also involved in the crime. So it's not too much people beating around that, but if he does, then so be it. Maybe it was meant to be, I don't know. And I don't know about y'all, but Bezoo's name have been also coming up a lot in this case. If y'all remember, the feds initially had Bezoo, aka co-conspirator number 6, down for allegedly alerting Lil Durk that there was a snitch within their camp and also let him know who it was. Now the paperwork on that, they didn't tell us who it was, of course, but I'm sure that's their own information that they wish to keep confidential until the trial so it don't interfere with the investigation or whatever defense that they have prepared. Bezoo was the one that put Durk on, which in return caused Durk to start alerting others to get rid of things and so forth. But the whole time that situation came about, I wondered myself, how did Bezoo know of who the snitch was and what made him alert of that individual? Who knows, but now was more information coming out in regards to Bezoo, and allegedly people are saying Bezoo snitched, but if you pay attention to what the paperwork stated, that's not exactly the case. So we're going to get into it, but according to the paperwork, this is how the feds was able to further tie Durk into that Atlanta case in 2019 and another situation in 2021, along with a car theft ring as well. And judging from what the government stated, they called Zoo a central figure, which means that he was a very important factor into that case when it comes to information, because the person that cooperated claims the information he knows came from Zoo himself. So I'm thinking if Zoo was alive, I'm sure the feds would have put the pressure on him, and who knows how that could have went. Yes, we know Zoo is definitely a guy that had been proven to stand tall in these type of situations, but playing with the feds and them letting you know you can possibly spend the rest of your life in jail for your involvement is a whole different story. Then it also makes you think back to Bezoo and his passing, but once again, that's another story. So we're going to get into everything, y'all, and I want to hear what y'all think about this. But in the meantime, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, hype the video so we can get into the algorithm, and if you not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it. Hold up, y'all. There's no way you're watching this video for free right now. You could be getting paid literally just for playing games while this video play in the background at the same time. Only difference is the increase in your bank account. Now, I'm not saying you'll get rich, but I am saying that you could easily make something while doing nothing except for sitting on the couch playing games if you download the app Free Cash. Tap or click the link I pinned in the comment section or scan the QR code that I put right here on the screen. Also, if you use my link right now, they give you a little something to start off with just for signing up. So if you want a little Uber Eats or something to snack on and don't feel like dipping into your own wallet, play a few games so you don't have to spend your own ends. Now let's get back to the video. Now shout out to Durk all day for the documents and always keeping us updated on Durk and the OTF trial. However, in the paperwork, it is state quote, even if prejudice was not presumed, though serious prejudice has already demonstrably unfolded since the October 2025 trial date that Mr. Banks demanded. If Mr. Banks had gone to trial in October, as was his demand, it would have been only on the Los Angeles counts with what evidence the government had gathered then. To the extent that government believes it has, since the date, acquired additional witnesses or evidence against Mr. Banks that it would not have had in October, Mr. Banks has been prejudiced by the delay. Further, in the words of the Supreme Court, if witnesses die or disappear during the delay, the prejudice is obvious. Co-conspirator 6 passed away on October 26, 2025, after what should have been the October 14th start of Mr. Banks' trial. According to the government, Co-conspirator 6 is a central figure in both Atlanta shooting incident, the Blackshear, Georgia shooting, and these new allegations surrounding an alleged car theft ring. In fact, according to the 302 of PW2 produced just this past Monday, Co-conspirator 6's alleged after-the-fact hearsay statements provide the bulk of PW2's personal knowledge of the Atlanta incident. Example M at 5'6", but since he is now deceased, Mr. Banks can no longer interview him or call him to the stand. The government's opposition ignores this completely. The defense has been hindered by the passage of time, particularly given the nature of the charges, which are most likely proved or rebutted through testimonial evidence. Importantly though, what prejudice will unfold during the period of any future delay remains to be seen. That is a question that the parties could be asking the Ninth Circuit to evaluate in 3 years' time if this trial date is pushed back. What we know at this point is that the government is currently attempting to take tactical advantage. Now, if you ask me, what's being done here is the same thing they've been doing almost this whole time. They're trying to win over this case pre-trial by pointing out certain technicalities. And although sometimes they are making a few good key points, it just haven't been working. Now let's break down what's been said. Aside from the Bezoo part, the defense claims that the government purposely prolonged the trial just so they can get more evidence and witnesses to strengthen their case. Had they just went along and had the trial in October of 2025 like Durk and his team demanded, they would have had to use whatever they had then instead of the additional evidence that they gained after that date. So basically they're saying the delay in the trial was more so to help the government, and they purposely did it knowing that they were gathering evidence instead of going with the agreed trial date. But once again, these are the tactics and tricks the feds pull, and I'm sure Durk and his defense knew that. So arguing about the old trial date now isn't going to hold much merit because that's in the past. The jury don't care about that. The jury care about whatever evidence they see in the present tense, and that's what they're going to base their decision off of. Not no trial date. What's done is done, unfortunately. And I think Durk's defense been messed up when they agreed to push back the trial date the very first time, because maybe if they didn't agree to do it the first time, it wouldn't have been the second or third time in the first place. Now, aside from that, let's get into the Bezoo part. Everyone is claiming that Bezoo snitched, and it says that he was going to be interviewed and he was going to have to be put on the stand. But if you pay attention to what's said in the document, it wasn't Bezoo that cooperated or offered any information. Bezoo did tell information to a person that is cooperating who was identified as PW2, aka Prosecution Witness Number 2. And by the way, just know that if they're saying PW2, that also means that they have another prosecution witness who would go by PW1, which means, like we already knew, there's more than one witness in this case cooperating against Lil Durk. But let's break it down because the document states, quote, according to the government, co-conspirator 6 is a central figure in both Atlanta shooting incident, the Blackshear, Georgia shooting, and these new allegations surrounding an alleged car theft ring. In fact, according to the 302 of PW2 produced just this past Monday, co-conspirator 6's alleged after-the-fact hearsay statements provide the bulk of PW2's personal knowledge of the Atlanta incident. So what does that mean? Now, co-conspirator 6, aka Bezoo, provided the bulk of PW2's knowledge of the Atlanta incident, aka the information he told to whoever PW2 is. So Bezoo isn't the one that snitched. This is why sometimes you gotta thoroughly pay attention to what you're reading, especially if you aren't privy to certain legal terms, because it's easy to get confused if you don't know what's going on. But I wanted to clear that up. However, this also puts into perspective of why the feds decided to bring the Atlanta case back up, despite claiming that they weren't earlier this year and the initial charges in the beginning of 2026 were dropped when they first brought it up. Being that they got the prosecution witness, or one or two, I guess they felt that they now have enough evidence to prove Durk's involvement and be able to affiliate him with the case officially. But on another note, they did mention the car theft ring, and I'm not going to go too deep into that, but I'm going to just say this. When a certain rapper starts rapping about buying hot cars and strikers and paying for this and paying for that hot car, then the car theft ring comes up. What do you think is going to happen? I'll just leave it at that. But y'all jump in the comments and let me know what y'all think about this. What do y'all think this means for the case of Durk? With the trial coming right up in less than a month, what do y'all think is going to happen when it comes to this trial and the information that's being dropped? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. I'm out. Are you tired of a bunch of social media gurus promising you results with their course, but all they do is take a bunch of information off YouTube and Google, then sell it to you? Well, look no further. Our YouTube Tips and Tricks Masterclass course comes equipped with SEO tips and tricks, along with methods we use to growth hack our YouTube channel. It also includes step-by-step ways to publish your video before uploading to guarantee a great SEO score, therefore your videos can rank and be shown to a bigger audience. Views and subscribers don't come by luck, and just how YouTube have an algorithm, you should have one as well that can guarantee you results. We doing websites and softwares we personally use to generate money creating Faces YouTube channels. If you also would like to skip the process and just buy other pre-built accounts, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook, we also threw that in there for you too. We went through trial and error, so you don't have to. Click the link in the description or the comments and get started today.